I know it's a pretty big task, but I think I can handle it. This whole project started when Victor wanted to finish a half-built project in honor of his late brother, Manny.
Don't look at it the way it is now.
As usual, Victor has some wild plans.
The ultimate party vehicle. Why don't we put a Zephyr front end on this thing?
This is nothing like a restoration. There's no blueprint at all. This is pure sculpture.
That is called the Zephyr Cruiseliner.
Then we went even further. I'd like to seal these doors up completely. You enter through the center. You want a boat, right? And now Victor wants to take it to his favorite car show, so it's full steam ahead.
Hey, can we make this thing float while we're at it?
The whole plan here is revamping the entire inside of this vehicle. Now, Victor's concept always revolved around this thing being a people mover, so that's the challenge, you know? He wants 6 or 7 people in the back of this thing, and it's gotta look cool, so the stakes are fairly high. First step here is removal. Out with the old to make room for the new. Normally, when you're cutting out a major structure like this, there would be a lot of concerns. You'd have to do a bunch of bracing, but with the doors being welded shut and the nose being in one piece, it's gonna be okay. Trust me. This thing is cleared out. It's definitely a walk-through design. First step is to set up a big old straight edge and draw a line in space. I mean, on the truck. Victor's concept from the start with this thing was all about the back of the truck. We came up with some pretty cool concepts for the nose of this thing. It's gotta translate right out the back end. I just try to keep the momentum rolling. Aha! So that looks good to me. I mean, there's plenty of room in the tire at that height. That's the seat height. And that's the floor height. You don't want to be sitting much lower than that. See what I'm saying? We're just gonna have to carry small people in the back. I'm always thinking 10 steps ahead to work through any potential problems before they happen. Let me lay this out on a couple little stands right here, and then we'll see where we're at. Because I don't know if I like what I see. The whole thing is, how high up do we want this seat bottom? I've worked with Victor for so long, I can just about picture his exact response. Ian, what's up? Wow, you made a lot of progress. You know, I like it, but I just want to see that corner rounded, and it's a keeper. I told you I was going to say that. I found this piece of round ring laying around, so I put it in the roller just to get the radius I need. So that'll work. That'll take that hard edge off. Bink. That'll go there, that'll go there.
Ian, how's it going?
Hey, hey.
Wow. You know what? It looks better than I thought it was gonna look.
It's like deja vu in this room.
But
What?
that's perfect. So we have how much seating area?
About 17, 18, depending on where you
perfect. You got it, you nailed it.
sit. I love standing behind it and looking right through to the firewall. I made that mention earlier. It's like these rails are a trajectory going right into the engine. It's cool. We still have a ton of design work to do on the rear, but before we do that, I want to nail this side profile. I'm plugging away on these bench seats and I hear the familiar creak of that shop door.
Hey, I see the woods in there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, the interior guys, I just had them start off, you know, to represent your benches. I did all that framing underneath, right? So that's just a raw support. Whatever upholstery you want goes right on top of this. Like you said, that one thing right here really sells it. I love the back end, the shapes.
It looks bigger than I thought. I was thinking maybe we should have widened the vehicle another 6 inches, but hey, That's enough room for what we need. 10 adults in this thing, and
10
one
little-
child,
10 little adults, yeah.
and one dog.
I'm not saying anything. The last thing I want to get into is widening or lengthening this body, so yeah, sure, we could fit 10, 20, 30 people, you know. Victor's an optimist. Let it roll.
Check this out. I got some new tires and wheels. It's not exactly what I want, but I got 2 out of 3 elements.
What are you doing, build another supercar? Victor rolls in this set of tires, and these aren't exactly what I was expecting.
I got the width and I got the depth.
Victor's style is fairly predictable. It's always big, fat, white wall tires. Not this time. What is this, 12 inches wide? 315, 35, 20.
That look isn't going with this Zephyr, you know, Cruiseliner look. The basic concept is there. We do our little modification. I mean, what don't we change? I mean, if
Sure.
we're changing the vehicle, might as well adjust the rims a little.
Of course, we're gonna modify the rims. You know, normally you just buy the exact style you're looking for, but not us. Just the classic look of this, I mean, this style, I mean, this fits the rig perfectly. So, I mean, just imagine, you know, just for conversation, imagine something similar to that.
That's it exactly right there.
The rim modification, just like anything else, we're going to make a few minor enhancements.
It's gonna be like, wow.
You know, he loves the idea of the big diameter rims, and I love the idea of that mega offset. Little rim modification is in order, but we got 2 great things coming out of this set. Just like with the front fenders, they're so wide, we need to match that with the rear. You know, we need to puff these rear fenders way out, and this is gonna fill that up for sure.
Are these both gonna fit on there? They're not gonna like rub in the middle?
I don't know.
Because I don't know if we got enough
I know.
space in here.
Yeah, those tires, I like them, but they're massive. They're never gonna fit in those fenders.
Now we gotta modify that too. Can we just bring something in and just put it on the truck someday?
As ambitious as Victor is, you know, I gotta say, he keeps me busy, right? So anything goes all the time.
If those don't fit, we're going to single axle like normal human beings.
You're copping out, man. You're getting nervous. You're getting nervous in the clutch inning. I don't know why we always gotta do it the hard way. You ever see on those other car shows where they have this thing they take the tires off with? It takes 5 seconds to take off a tire on those other TV shows. Some projects simply consist of adding elements onto the design, and this project's in the opposite direction. We have been cutting apart everything just to create this blank slate and then build on top of it. That's a massive hole in the truck. Takes a bit of mental fortitude. Mission accomplished. Whoa. My highest aspiration is to always build like the cartoon car, right? Something that just looks out of this world. This wheel and tire combo nails it.
Who in their right mind would put 2 20s next to each other? I don't know. It looks pretty interesting. I like it.
I gotta see it with that front tire on. Hot rod flavor, big and little tires. You hear it all the time. Victor did the same thing. Front 2 tires are a little bit smaller than the back. Whoa, yes. Look at the freaking lip on that thing.
That thing's pretty mean looking.
It's like madness showing those 2 rims so close together. And then when you look at this, it's dumpy. It's like an old-fashioned pickup truck back there. Ever since we put the Zephyr nose on the front, I knew these rear fenders were gonna have to be modified to match. Let's take the Zephyr fender and we'll keep just about that much space on those tires. It's gonna be a total game changer. Let me cut this right in half. These fenders were never designed for tandem axle, so they gotta get cut right in half. I love the styling element, they just gotta be enhanced. Hopefully this one has taillights before we paint it. The main concept here is to kind of unify the whole look of the thing, you know, this giant Zephyr truck thing. So these rear fenders just got to take the styling of the front and bring it right to the rear. These 2 lines really work, and they're going to terminate together. So it's a bunch of sheet metal work for sure, But the further we get away from all this stuff that's gone on, the better. So we'll revamp the whole rear quarter. Rough mock-up is one thing. It's kind of hard to see through it in some cases, so the finished product is really gonna sell the concept. It's time to make it happen. So we are definitely going with this Zephyr fender. The issue at hand is, how does it fit? This is so much better than the pickup truck fender in that, look at how that arch, like it curls around like a wave, like a Zephyr Cruiseliner should look. After all the mock-up and everything, the one point remains, we're missing a substantial piece of fender. I'm always looking for a good jumping off point. These fenders have exactly what I'm looking for. Now it's just time to make it work. It's not my greatest vision, but it does the job. Sometimes I just do stuff to get Victor's reaction. You know, he comes in with this really nice set of tires and I just kind of delete the whole concept. Truth of the matter is I'm protecting a considerable investment. One little weld splatter on that chrome. Because these fenders are split in half, I want to make sure they stay on the same plane. You know, I don't want the front or the back sticking in a different direction. It goes up the ramp and then it loops around. It looks fast. The whole back end of this truck is going to be completely redesigned. My main focus right now is on these wheel surrounds and just getting the fenders to look right. The beauty of these manufactured parts is they are stamped one shape. That's where you get these awesome curves. There are machines that could pull this for me, but I don't have that. Not today. These fenders are pretty dimensional, big compound curves. So by using multiple strips like this, it's a fast and efficient way to get the contour I need. Just fit in one piece, get it set up in the orientation I need, and add to it. Just like I did with the front fenders, I'm gonna enhance the living heck out of this whole truck. I mean, he's never seen enhancements like this. Oh yeah. So you can see how that template transferred right to the steel and it's all just tacked in. It's gonna be a lot of welding, but just look at that result. The rear fenders will ultimately have some kind of a skirt to really finish it off, but right now I have something else on my mind. It's just a complete revisioning of the rear end. I don't like the way it's put together. I don't like the welding. I don't like the look of these brick and mortar seams. Just like the original roof on this truck, I want the whole back of this thing gone. It's gonna be way easier to fabricate from new than try to repair this mess. Look at that. There lies the next challenge. I got those fenders finished just in time. Quality control is on the site and nose deep in investigation. It's all steel, it's heavy duty, it's pretty groovy, huh? Big diameter. We're gonna work on the overall look of them, but the tires are what's happening. Dogs definitely love the deep dish rim. The big shop inspector, aside from cars, his favorite thing is food. He's a total chow hound. Does it work for you? All right. So I'm just going side to side on this, working front to back, and the last thing I need to figure out is after cutting out this whole wall, you know, how does this transition take place? In addition to getting that wall in, I'm gonna get this sheet metal in place, and Victor's on his way. We're gonna establish the final opening of the wheel arch. Victor and I have been tossing around a lot of ideas about the back of this truck, but before we get to that, I wanna finish off the detail on these rear fenders. Right now it looks a little up and down and weird, but hey, some of us are a little up and down and weird. Just like everything, made a paper template, made a steel piece, and this is gonna fill that whole wall in one shot. I was thinking, how am I gonna make this skirt in one piece so that it doesn't deform? And I remember we have all this extra plastic. Dig on this. You know, every time you put up a paper or any other material to make a template, you're always wondering what's going on the other side. Now we know. I can see what the fender line actually is and then come in with a number of different ideas that are see-through. I tell you, the best job I ever had. Getting the last part of these fenders mocked up, I got everything in place. I love the way we curved the front of that one.
I mean, look at the way that flows. Zephyr.
Yeah.
Zephyr. That came out nice.
The one thing we have to discuss is what the wheel opening is going to look like. You know, that's what these big slabs are for. I was just setting up a big generic shape so I don't warp it. We'll just trace this out, and then I'll come underneath with a heavy steel rod and reinforce it.
Can we take that cardboard out so we can literally see the tires so we know where we're going to?
Do you want to see the tires? I'm going to show you the greatest template I do in the history
cool.
of carbon. So all of a sudden you have a see-through car.
All right, cool.
You can see the tires and you know where you're going.
That's an expensive template. That's about 80 bucks worth of Lexan there.
I know. The thing about the see-through template is that typically if you see me, I'm feeling out contours and just kind of sketching ideas. Right here, it's visual. You're looking right at your part.
I want to mimic that same kick in all the way down to here, so it's round.
So now we weld the steel in and we screw this right on top of it. We have a good starting point for the skirts. We just have to attach the sheet metal to the truck and mark it with the template. All right, so this is the point where I say, any last wishes? It's easy to get carried away on this fender skirt concept, so we're throwing a bunch of tape lines to ensure we get the right line. You just don't want to cut too much. You know, this solid rod gets tacked right below it, so when it comes in here to the curve, it'll flow it right through.
From back here, look at that thing. Now there's depth in the fender.
Wow, that's cool. This fender skirt in place, I'll duplicate it on the other side. I'll finish it off with a piece of rod, and then these things are just about ready for body work. My job is done here.
Yeah, no, it looks good. That really came out nice. The only thing left to figure out is the back, and you could do that. You have point A, point B. You get that, round it off. That one's an easy one.
The front and side of this Cruiseliner concept, I think we nailed it. The real thing to sell the whole concept is gonna be the entryway, the back end. It's gotta count. Look at this. The whole tube chassis is full of water. As soon as I welded it, it popped open, boiling in there. This may not be a good sign. She's already springing a leak and we haven't even set sail on the maiden voyage. It is an ocean-going vessel after all. It's all that salt water rusting out the chassis. It comes with the territory. You're building a boat, there's gonna be some water, you know? We may be installing a bilge pump sometime in the near future. That's the strangest thing I've ever seen.
Ian, check this out. I was at Pomona this Sunday, got a couple things to enhance the back. Hopefully they'll fit.
That seems like way too easy on your taillight decision. That's a first. It's pretty good that Victor's got his taillight game on. Thing is, we don't know what the heck the back of this vehicle is gonna look like, so maybe it's a little premature coming in with the finishing touches when we haven't even started.
By the way, Ian, that looks cool, man.
Yeah, oh yeah, I'm so in it, I forgot. Yeah, we did all the body work on the fenders and everything. The other side's still in steel, but while I was working on the other fender, they came in.
That's clean.
This isn't the typical way you build a vehicle, you know. Usually it's the fabrication, then the bodywork, but being that this is a sculpture, it really helps to see what the final surface is gonna look like. So, you know, it's a little unorthodox, but it's our process. So this is so dented up and rusty. I just put in a couple braces right now. I think all this old fab has gotta come out. Right now, this hoop's kinda cool, but the sheet metal's all crunched up, the tubes are bent. I've mostly been thinking about the usability of it, because that's a pretty long way from the driver's seat to the street. So this, an emergency or whatever.
In case of emergency, man overboard. You ever hear that saying? They'll be flying out, baby. I don't think they'll worry about the door.
All I could say is if I don't pull off the rear end of this vehicle, forget about going overboard. He might have me walking the plank. And right now there's too much going on. I think we just cut it all out.
That's cool. That way we got a fresh slate and we'll do it the right way.
I'm glad to get rid of this because the initial concept for the old rig was never truly established. There was a lot of weird fabrication. It's all kind of dented and rusty. It's nice to just get it fresh and ready for reconstruction.
That's definitely a clean slate right there. Without that back on there, it's like, wow, what do we do?
This is when the chickens come home to roost. I've been hearing about this, the whole project, and now we know the real story. It's not gonna be that easy.
We're gonna have a little bit of work ahead of us. There's too many lines that are gonna be difficult to make them flow and look good.
This is par for the course. Everything is easy on paper, right? And every time, it comes right back and bites you in the ankle.
It's not gonna happen just us looking at it confused.
See, I'm already thinking ahead. Check this out. That's the largest piece of template board in the house. There's only one way I know how to work through problems, and that's start building.
It almost looks like a back of a VW.
The whole deal with the cardboard template is how is the metal gonna react to the shape you want? If we just let the metal naturally curve, look at that, right? So it's curling under, it's meeting the fender, right? So the fender will be unchanged. Yeah, and then from that, with this being open, I can build all the structure for the step, the fuel tank holder, and whatever else.
If you do that, it's almost like a boat tail kind of looking thing.
Just keep feeding it in. What's there not to like about that? Just laying out this cardboard template, I could tell it's gonna work out just fine. I just take the steel, I put it in the brake, see, and I put a curve on it. So you have this very mellow V, like the back of a canoe or like the front of the hood almost.
Exactly.
Let me just get this kind of mocked up as a nice sheet metal surround. Your task, I know you struggle with certain things and we're gonna need taillights. At this point, I'm feeling pretty good. I got some ideas and nothing's gonna really sell it like putting some work in. Critical factor of the back end of this vehicle is it's an entryway. It's gonna have people stepping in and out of it, hanging around, so I made it super strong. Now it's strong enough for a large individual to step right in. This main feature is accessibility. So the challenge is to make this flat sheet flow with the rest of the vehicle. I can form it, I can bend it, I can do a whole bunch of stuff. I just want to see what it does and how to streamline the process. See how it's buckling right here, but not buckling there? That's the idea. It's pretty basic, and it will get styled out a bit with some taillights. For now, a step and access point. Just by pushing these in a little bit, that brings it to the same contour as this radius, but now this is rolling a little bit too. And I'm gonna border it with some 1/2-inch solid round rod. That'll give it a lot of structure. Once I got the majority of the sheet metal in place, there was just a few areas to splice in, and then we got right to the bodywork. And all my theorizing, philosophizing, contemplating, and consideration, I've decided that this fit-up looks best with the fenders. The whole idea here was to just bring the sides around to the back. It needed a whole remodel because it's not having that weird roof line. So I feel like this fits the bill. Just kind of molds right through that roll pan. What remains to be seen, the styling elements, it's all happening on the interior. The front's a great change. The rear is very mellow because I want the interior to really show off on the back end of the truck. Hopefully I made a good call, because Victor, I like it, but I just want to change everything. One last piece of the sheet metal work is behind the rear fender and the way it ties into the rear roll pan. I'm just finishing up, and here comes Mr. Cacho, the head honcho.
Dan.
Hey, howdy. Making so much noise, I'm getting in the zone.
You know what? When I walked in, it all ties in. That's a work of art.
It's real nice to see Victor this enthusiastic. You know, I'm a little hesitant because I'm waiting for that, that one change.
You know, the only issue that I always had was I don't want people falling out of this thing. One rev of the engine and I have all my cool people on the ground. That ain't cool.
Yeah, it's like the guy who puts all this stuff in the back of his truck and pulls out of the parking lot, right? We have two critical issues with the rear of this truck. Problem one is people getting in the vehicle, and the inevitable problem number two is people falling out of the back when you get on the gas.
So what's the solution?
That is a major issue. It's like point A, style, point B, safety.
Practicality.
Practicality. So I got one practical solution, and that's with this floorboard. I was thinking this would just come in to this level and just set right down. So it's kind of like the gangway on a ship, right? You're walking up this level. This is where the story gets even better. That license plate, it's a little bit of magic. We're gonna put an actuator underneath here with a push button. So when you push the button, your step comes out.
The license plate is a step. That's brilliant. I don't wanna, get your head any bigger than it is, but that's cool.
That's what I thrive on, Somebody's expecting something, it's like, but wait, there's more.
How about after a couple beers, how am I gonna keep them from falling off to the side?
With the chromes, Holmes, we're gonna put some chrome on the back of this thing. Polished aluminum handrails, just like on a boat. Not that they'll be this shape, but here's a perfect representation, right? I'm this wide, so you have something that comes off the base, turns to roughly this angle, so when you're getting in, it's this high. Handrails, right? It's gonna help you get on board, and then it's gonna be two features, Victor. It does two things. So not only when you get in, you have something to grab right here, right? But you come in here, and then when the people are sitting, that same structure comes up and turns the corner. So it's wide open, but now there's something holding people in. You get in, and it keeps you there. It looks nice and airy, open, but it's also got the ability to keep people on board.
Pretty cool.
And also when they're sitting, you grab right here, you're up, and then you're out.
All right, let's go for a worst case scenario. We adjust it later. I mean, I've adjusted a couple things in my day.
Never gonna do anything sane or typical. This is right up my alley. Here we are, another crazy concept. Handrails on the back of a boat truck thing. Here we go. So I know you're wanting to keep the people inside this rig. I got an idea to create this hoop around the back just to start the whole thing off. Stakes are pretty high with this. I pitched Victor the idea, now I gotta really sell him on it. One wrong move, it could just look like a generic staircase handrail, and we want this to look classy.
I don't know how we're gonna build these handrails and still flow with the truck, so that's gonna be pretty interesting.
I'm not sure how this is gonna look, but my idea is, just like you got this big round back end, what if you had like an aluminum retaining hoop, maybe something like that, and then just two drops, the same curve.
Hold it, let me see it from the side.
That looks like a boat, man.
It doesn't look bad because then it's kind of showing me a confined compartment. Then there's plenty of room that these people could still put their hand out with no problem.
Oh yeah, but you're still seeing the deluxe seats, you're seeing everything. Maybe it'll come like right to there. And then we'll roll another ring and it'll just drop right down to the step.
How would this die into this though?
That's what I don't know.
Yeah.
It's gonna look like it's added on. For this boat theme, this handrail has to follow suit. I don't want it to look like we just took the back of a ski boat and stuck it on there. It's gotta be stylish, unique, strong, small bill to fill. So let's just keep pulling this and see if we can get at it. The first step is to narrow the radius of this ring until it matches that of the bench seats. This is like steering the ship, man. You should be on this. Left turn. All right. That's it, man.
You make it look easier than what it is.
Well, why do you think I'm always sweating like a pig? You know, it's taken a bit, but now that I have Victor working, I can slowly transfer into that managerial position I've been aiming for. Left turn, Captain. All right, you're halfway there. Thing is, if we had a plan, we'd probably be done already. That's the whole issue here is we start with something, see what it looks like, consider what's possible, what looks right, and move forward. You know, our process is pretty unique, very unorthodox, but we get results. All right, so this is what all that twisting has led up to. A vertical post somewhere around here. This matches the radius of your seat perfectly. So that comes up on a vertical leg. Then this joins up to that, like so. So you got this cool swoopy thing, matches the seat contours, and is a usable people holder inner.
Yeah, that makes sense. Let's go for it.
This concept's all laid out. Everything is beveled. Once I get back from the welding booth, it's on. In the end, the finish work on this is just sanding out the welds to a nice contour, and I'm gonna bring it up to a satin finish. Ultimately, you could polish it. I'm looking forward to seeing this on the back of the rig. It could either make it or break it. While I've been finishing up this handrail detail, Victor's got his crew on the mission. Bodywork guys are in progress. He's got his upholstery guy, and then the mechanics are in another shop getting the engine, transmission, etc. ready for assembly. Victor wants to drive this thing at a car show in a couple weeks, so it's all hands on deck. Your interior guys are busting it out, man. Every time I leave here, more happens. This is looking good.
Yeah, we're getting really close.
Yeah.
Roger's doing a good job.
It's simple, it's clean, it's ready to rock.
We just need a railing to keep my people in.
Oh, I got that covered, man. You don't know. I'm busy too.
Wow.
It's aluminum tubing, just like we were talking. Finished off, welded, all the seams, nice.
That really came out cool.
Yeah. They're at 80 grit finish now, but if you want to polish them, it's aluminum. You can go for it.
All aluminum. That's cool, and it fits right in there, huh?
And the whole thing was like we were talking about. We didn't want it to look like a handicapped bathroom or something, right? So it's got some style.
Yeah, I mean, look at that quality. That's amazing.
When Victor likes something, it's right away. You know, he's not wishy-washy about some things. This was one of them. Yeah, and the cool factor is in a pile of scrap, I don't know what these are for, a gazebo or something. Look at that fit up. Right to it.
Wow.
See, we got
So
a
that's
threaded,
how it'll attach on that side.
got a threaded hole, because aluminum, we can't weld to the steel, so we got a steel receiver, and then we just drop it whatever distance you're thinking.
Let me stand back and look at that. That same arch is the same arch here, so we're going down, and all my lines are flowing.
Putting it on there, you know, I feel like it's gonna work, but in reality, it's all about positioning. As soon as you start putting stuff parallel, you can tell when it's a little off.
Yeah, that's about right there. That'll look good.
So let's start by taking 4 inches out of this riser. That way it's planted on the
cool.
ground and we'll clamp it.
All right, good. So what were those out of?
I don't know, you had all this equipment over there and I just unhooked them.
Shoot, I hope it's not for one of my scaffolding.
Victor was definitely thrilled. He's like, wow, this is a perfect fit. But then the more he starts looking at it, he's like, wait a second.
What I sacrificed for the build, that's getting ridiculous now.
You said do whatever you like over there, so. Scout's honor. I found them in the scrap pile. They're part of the truck now. 4 inches off.
I'm gonna hear it from my boys next week, like, hey,
Blame it on me.
where are them legs at? I said, what legs?
One of the issues we're struggling with is we don't want it to look just stuck on, like, oh, put it in place and forget it. It's kind of a hard fit because the back of the vehicle's curved, but this handrail's coming straight up. There's no way around it. So this critical issue needs about 4 eyeballs on it, because we're only gonna do this once.
All right, let's see. Just a little bit more that way. Actually, a little less, like a milligram. And that could go that way a little. Hold on right there. Well, actually, wait a minute, you know what? It might be okay. Let me look at the bars coming up. Yeah, this one has to go straight with the seats, so it just gotta go over about 1 inch or so.
Once we got the second one in, that's what it's all about. You know, this seals the deal.
Now it looks like a boat. What's your problem?
Victor's happy with it. I'm really happy with it because you're really seeing off the interior. You know, these pillars that hold it up will be completely hidden with the fabric, so it'll just look like a perfect aluminum shape coming through the floorboards and disappearing into the seat ends. And then when you get here, oh man, that is right on the spot. It's like a chiropractic chair. Love it. If you know me, you know that I am off the grid. Don't answer the phone, got no mailing address to the public.
Now I'm getting your mail to my doorstep from Australia.
Somehow they still track me down. I don't know how they tracked you down. Nobody can track me down, man. Whoa, look at that.
Hey, and you look good in that, man. You should be in movies.
It's gonna be a tough break from my old straw hat, man. This is classy, though.
Talking about your new look, I got a new look for the truck.
Hey, now that you're in such a good mood, I've got one more change. Again? Yes, that's the case.
After looking at it and seeing it come together, the window we originally chose that looks like a boat, I'm not feeling it that much anymore.
He comes barging through the door with the old windshield that was on the truck.
Remember this? Check this out. But that's not the look I see. You cut this, weld this in, and I see it just like that.
My first reaction is, Victor, you're chickening out. We're on a boat, damn it. You know, the thing is, that makes it more look like a vehicle. This boat windshield, it just kind of didn't feel right. It looked awesome, but the way the rest of the vehicle is fleshing out with the fenders, etc., it fits with the era of the vehicle, you know? Okay, fine, we got the whole boat theme going on, but all in all, it is this giant bubble-fendered vehicle. Yeah, I thought this was gonna be a lot harder sell, but you're right, this time. In having the comparison, you know, looking at this back on the vehicle, compared to the boat windshield, it fits the bill. It's a little more substantial. This puts the feeling of the vehicle in proportion again.
And this isn't a change, this is an enhancement.
This is a totally last-minute call, right? But yes, it's worth it, whatever it takes. Well, I know you've got your scheduling issues with all the things going on. Let me get this welded in place, and we're on to the detail work.
All right, cool, let's do it.
I feel like this Zephyr Cruiseliner has made a turn in a great direction. You know, there's a lot more to do, but I think I'm going champagne shopping. This boat is almost ready for the christening. We have finally arrived. West Coast Customs Cruising Nationals. It's on. You could go way overboard with a decision like this and end up with some weird thing with an anchor hanging off it and who knows what. All the choices with this were really ambitious, but I made a couple key decisions that, you know, swung it in our favor. To really add to the boat theme, he pinstriped it to look sort of like a hardwood old school boat, and he went with the proper flooring and makes it look like a deck. Really just nail this concept, he went and blacked out all the chrome. Really makes the rims stand out even more. The idea with the rims, dynamite. I see people going over there touching them. You see the little moon logo, and then it makes sense.
I kind of do things as a joke. I said, I'm gonna put a Zephyr on a Chevy pickup, just kind of threw it, just a thought came into my mind. And for you to achieve it and put it into proportion, This vehicle looks like it came out of the factory like that. I've already seen a lot of older people saying, oh yeah, Zephyr Cruiseliner, I remember that.
He always has to build something really good to blow everyone's mind. You know, I think that's his whole deal. I mean, look at these guys, they can't get enough of it.
Congratulations on your new baby.
But I retired, I think, this time for at least 3 months.
Give it 48 hours.
yeah.
We'll see how you feel in the morning. Friday night, it's cruise night. The vehicles are driving. All of a sudden, Gene Winfield is like the barker, right? He's like, step right up, ladies. The Cruiseliner is about to leave port.
Excuse me, excuse me.
Hello, Victor.
Watch your toes.
Victor is all smiles. He's all for it.
All right, Ian, get in.
There's too many people in here. I don't agree with this. Call the Coast Guard. Excuse me, pardon me, coming through. This is exactly what Victor wanted, a party on wheels. Max capacity, and we're about to set sail. People are yelling. Victor, nice ride. Ian, what's up? I'll just be below the decks. Last year, I was inducted into the West Coast Customs Hall of Fame. This is round 2 for the meet and greet session.
Ian, how's it going?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Enjoy your shows, man.
Thanks.
Ian,
How's it going?
Big fan.
Good to see you.
Excellent
Glad you
work.
like it. Thank you. I gotta tell you, the most satisfying thing about this, this TV thing, is people watch it all the time. It's like a lot of people watch it. I did not expect that. Cool. Look at that, man. See this guy? We're like old friends. He was the guy making this years ago, back when I had a cool mustache. Cool stroller, man. The most inspiring thing with working with Victor is the no limits attitude. I gotta say, I feel good, man.
Remember when I first showed you this project, Ian? And said, see that front end of that Zephyr? I want it on that tiki truck, which my brother owned.
That's the whole thing, dude. Every time I'm sitting in here, I'm thinking about Manny and his passion for this vehicle. And here we are, dude. It's happening. Victor is all smiles. It's a tribute to his brother. It was their project, their collaboration for a long time. Here it is revamped. All it took was 2 extra tires. All these vehicles out here, they have 4 tires.
Yeah,
You got them up by 2, baby.
I got them all.
Oh, watch out. Here comes the riffraff.
Get in, Jane.
I love it. It's the best one you ever did.
To see Gene responding to this, it's like, whoa, here's the big dog in the house. And he's like, wow, man, this thing is really cool. Like, I don't just say that about everything type of thing. That's why I jumped on board. You guys nailed this.
Just to have you in my presence is like another dream. Now I'm with Gene Winfield, cruising Santa Maria, cruising National. It doesn't get better than this.
My favorite projects are these like cartoon-inspired things, right? They look like they're right out of a comic book. This follows the same suit, right? Everybody sees this and they're like, that looks like fun. I want to be a part of that. And that's it. We hit it again. This thing is right in line with my favorite stuff. It is a luxury liner, man. The project is wrapped. I get to get on to the new and the exciting.